Alright everybody, welcome back to the farmstead. We've been really busy here with a lot of other things, but I thought I'd show you what I've been working on when I got the time. That structure is for the wood mill. When I originally got it, I wasn't real sure about what we were going to do, so I'll show you that in a second, but I just finished the underground to it, so, well, not finished, but the underground part is done. 2-inch pipe for the power, and then there's also going to be water over that way. It'll just help later on, so I gotta put the water through the wall and tie it in inside. I also have to feed the wire down through here, but the big part is digging up the ground, you know, from here all the way over to where that disconnect is. So let's go take a look real quick. There's also probably going to be about another 10 to 20 ton of gravel put in around here to kind of build everything up. If things go well, the concrete that I want to do, little slab right here and stuff like that, we're going to need it for that anyway. But anyway, so the water comes up to here, and I have some pieces left over that's going to run up the wall with a couple pieces of strut. We'll have strut, and then strap them, and out of the top of this will be a hose bib right here. There's also going to be a siding block behind this, and then beside it we'll put a GFI, so we have power and water on the outside of this building. But before I get too far, I wanted to mention, you may or may not believe this part, but this is a real number. 95% of the material that went into building this, I got for free from job sites. They were going to throw it out. It was either just cut pieces they didn't need, or they ordered too much, or what have you. All that zip system, all free. I mean, there was a ton of 48 by 41 inch pieces. For whatever reason, when they were finishing the building, that was the cutoff, and it went all the way down the building, and there was just that many left over. And I mean a lot, probably 50 of them or so. Those doors came off of an old school that I was on site on before the job that I'm at now. It was Lecce High School in Pittsburgh. Those were the doors that were on the outside. There was actually a bunch of those. I only managed in the time frame that I became aware of them that I could only get 2 of them, but they're big, heavy security doors. They're on there now, but I don't have any lock mechanisms on here yet. But they're great for this because they're really big. I'm gonna paint them at some point, but I figured that way we can move stuff in and out of there more easily this way. And this structure is meant to stay open here, simply because this road that's right here, I guess, dirt road, is a lot of the trees are going to come from either up that way or down that way. So when I bring them up here, we can bring them up and almost roll them right on to it. This sits down a little further than the ground level here, so with a couple of planks you can almost roll them right onto that. So yeah, I mean, it's been working out. Let me go through this real quick. All the 2x4s we're gonna get thrown out. The LVL cutoffs that are right here, they were gonna get thrown out. There's an extra one right here. You can see what they used to look like. They were gonna get thrown out. There was about 10 of those. All the 2x6s that I'm using in here were gonna get thrown out. All the 2x4s, 2x6, all the zip systems, even those windows are from another job from like that had to be 4 or 5 years ago. They were just misordered, and there was a whole bunch of them, and I did some favors for the GC on the site, and he knew I was building some stuff, and he said take it. The paint, even the paint, so when you look around, there's a lot of this gray Sherwin-Williams. It's exterior paint, free. I got all that from different job sites. So it's been a culmination of, you know, a couple of years of like just not passing up opportunities of stuff that's going to get thrown out. They're going to throw this stuff out. No, you know, sometimes people think they're too good to even go and grab it. I mean, I'm not. I don't know what a lot of these guys are thinking, but like, they think it's beneath them to take stuff that brand new, used, repurposed, anything that they don't buy from the store, they think is a bad thing because it gives, I assume that it gives the impression that they couldn't have afforded it, which is, I don't know, whatever. I also, we cut these with a lumber mill, earlier video showing those, 7 inches by 7 inches ash, and I think this is a red oak going across the top. This piece was actually part of the tree that fell onto the power lines a couple of months ago. It was laying in the field when they chopped everything down, and I just decided to use it. It'd be a good, you know, this was actually energized to a fair degree at one point. I needed something a little more stout to run across here because these are only going to be 2x4s, so you know, it works. It all works. As far as the front of this, so this is a roll down screen. These things are very, very expensive. A friend of mine owns a company that puts them in, and this was a misorder that was sitting around for years. She said I could have it. I've had it for years. Now I know what I'm going to use it for. We're going to take this and we're going to put it across the front of here so that, you know, we can roll it up and down given we need to or don't need to. You know, wind, weather, rain, maybe there's a reason that it needs to go down. So yeah, the whole idea was to use what I got where I'm at, you know. Even the pipe, believe it or not, all that 2-inch, the PVC, the gray stuff, that we're gonna throw that out. It was from temporary electrical on a job site in the strip district, and they were just gonna throw it out. So I was like, give me that. I have a whole pile of pieces and stuff like that. Again, I mean, I have a place to put it, so there's a carport on the other side over that I bought specifically for that. As material turns up, I stick it under there, and then I get so much of it and I need to build something, and so I just design around what I have instead of like what I would want. This is going to be pretty much what I would have wanted anyway. This is really good for what I need it for. It'll work. I mean, that is a great piece of equipment if you want to make your own stuff or do some cool things. Lots of videos that come about that. Now, this little spot right here, this little overhang, these are temporary. I'm gonna mill some pieces like the ones I just showed you with the ash and the red oak to come across, but I'll eventually enclose this in with plastic and then zipper doors and a few shelves in there. That will be for sort of like a kiln dry. This area gets a lot of sun, so it's just going to heat up. So we'll put shelves in here and a vent somewhere up in the top just to kind of let the moisture out as things are drying, as a way to wait for things to kind of just dry out as you cut them. That was a little bit of an experiment. So, you know, we're seeing how they work out. Some of these patterns are actually pretty cool. And this maple's been sitting around for a while, so it's, as you can see, it's starting to dry out pretty good now. I mean, I think we could make something with that, but it was all just an experiment anyway to see how it would look. It was actually just a stump. There was a video about that as well. Anyway, I just wanted to show where we're at and the progress on this particular thing. We got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm trying to punch out things as I can. It's Father's Day today, so I took about 4 or 5 hours to do some things to get some stuff done. I really can't wait. It'll be cool to get this energized and water up to here, because the next step after I get most of this squared away is that I've decided what we're gonna do down here. We had been growing stuff off and on down there in that field. I'm gonna make a video about this as time moves on, but we're gonna put an orchard in here. Right now there's just some honeydew growing down in there, but we're gonna put an orchard in here. There's gonna be lines of different types of fruit trees, and then in between those fruit trees is going to be a row of whatever vegetables we're gonna be growing that year. In between that, I'm going to make a chicken run that gets pulled with it. That might not be able to visualize that, but we're making videos about it as time goes on. I'm hoping to get a bunch of trees this year, but I'm thinking there's probably going to be at least 30, 40 trees in there lined up. And then every year we'll try to produce some kind of vegetable or whatever crop we can in the meantime. And then to make use of all of it, like I said, if you can picture rows of trees, in between the rows of trees, vegetables or whatever produce we're trying to make, and then in between those I'm gonna make a chicken run that's movable, that you just pull down with it, so they'll be able to, the chickens themselves. We have predators up here. When we're not up here, I usually keep them like in the run, but as you can see, they're happy birds when they get to go out, walk around and graze. But when we're not up here, we have to try to keep them somewhat under wraps. So I think that is going to be a good option for that. I have a big heavy gate that's going to go in right there, and we'll close that off. I may have to take down a couple more of these trees, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm assuming to this point right now that there will be videos about that progress soon, because that's the next thing I'm going to try and work on. So again, it's just an update video on the building. I think I'm going to call this the mill house. Sounds weird from the guy from the Simpsons. But I think I'm going to call it the mill house because there's a wood mill inside, and it's somewhat of the mill's house, right? Unless somebody has a better suggestion on a name. I'm running with mill house right now. If you think you can come up with a better one, let me know. All right, you guys have a good day.